What's going on, day traders? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Well, I guess not everyone's going to be day traders, right? So I want to thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream. If you guys don't know, we do go live every day, Monday through Friday. And I'm sorry, I was posting all the links right now. So my name is Ricky Gutierrez. I have a group at TechBot Solutions. We're over 39,500. Last time I checked, I actually think we're probably over 40,000 members now worldwide. And the thing that we do best is we provide a free and simple platform for both new and experienced traders. I tried to go live originally and my audio wasn't working, so I apologize for that. But in today's video, I'm gonna, for every live stream, I'm gonna now at least have a topic or a whole purpose around, aside from just like, trying to find, because during our live streams, we try to find stocks with good quality potential and stuff like that. And then I start performing technical analysis on stocks that you guys asked me to. But what it comes down to is not only am I going to be doing that, but every single video is now going to be having like a purpose. So today's video is going to be, how to deal with loss day trading. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's kind of go ahead and get right to it. And I'm going to start sharing my screen. I do have an update for you guys when purchasing my next rental property. So for those that are interested in that, feel free to stay tuned until the end. So it shouldn't be too long of a stream. If you guys have any suggestions right now for stocks that you guys would like me to analyze, feel free to let me know in the live stream. What's up, everyone? There we go. So guys, it is no surprise, JDST dropped and I saw my stop loss triggered right at 59.57. So right during pre-market hours. And my stop loss triggered. My stop loss was actually at 59.99, but unfortunately, because it, didn't actually open, my account will only allow me to sell 30 minutes before the market opened. Therefore, I had to end up cutting my losses. And guys, that is why I'm making today's video. Again, it wasn't a big loss. I didn't go in very heavy, and I'll explain that whole process. But let's kind of, I want to start answering your guys' questions first, and then go based on that. But I do want to let you guys know that in a 180-day analysis, based on when JDST usually bounces, it usually, if anything, has only gone below 58 once, and usually bounces at around this $58 mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the bounce and really wait for that upward trend, and I'm going to wait for the EMA lines to be underneath the candlesticks to really be showing that sign of upward momentum. And that's the approach that I'm going to take a little bit different this time. So let's go ahead and see what you guys have to say. Oh, hello, let's do that. Alrighty. Alrighty, so Hollow looks like it has a support at 1175. It's been moving up and down. It actually looks like during right as the market opened, it actually dropped below that support. So unless it picks back up, then it most likely broke that trend. But if you guys see, it had a previous trend really just holding above like 1180, and then struggling to hold above $12. It would go above 12, wouldn't really hold above 12 very well. So therefore, the potential for profit that this specific stock had is about 1.72%. Again, nothing huge. But I mean, profit's profit. It's up to you if you see value in that specific stock. What's going on, Devin? I lost on JDST as well. So yeah, I realistically, when it comes down to JDST's performance, is it a question that it's going to bounce? I mean, there's always, it's never 100%, right? But based on its history and based on its trend, it always has bounced. So due to that, I'm simply going to just wait now for a better support, wait for it to actually start rising a little bit nicer. And when it does, then I can make up, the small loss that I had. I took very small position sizes, and I'll just talk about it because that was my approach. So when I bought down here, I bought in at originally 61.30 when I called it out. And then I bought a couple more shares at 60.50. In doing that, I was only buying JDST when it would rise. And the reason that I was doing that, I didn't like to average down when it was, continuing to drop, but when I would see, nice little spikes, then I would buy on the rise, an effort to, if it continues to rise, then I'm buying on an upward trend. Something that I could have done a little bit better is actually wait for, because I'm trading this one more as a swing trade If I'm thinking more of as like a 5-day analysis, I could have waited for a more solid bounce for the EMA lines to really start showing that, they're below the candlesticks, and it never really did that. It always just had nice little pumps, but those were for day trades, and then had, continued to drop back down. The day that I called it out yesterday, from lows to highs, I think it had like 4% potential, right? 4.29, yeah. So a couple people were able to make a couple dollars there. I got a couple of screenshots of a couple $100 of people making, but other than that, I mean, right now it's at 58.08. It's extremely low price. Does that mean I'm going to buy right now? No, I'm going to wait for the bounce. I'm going to wait for it to really start trending up, and I'm going to go for it more. I mean, I can even treat this as a day trade because I think it does have potential to make up a good margin as a day trade. So if it's that, I mean, if it bounces at 58, then I'll treat that as a support, and then I'll cut losses there. Therefore, it would be a little bit easier for me to manage my risk. You guys can see right now, it's right back at 58.23. But the whole purpose of this video is going to be, how to deal with loss, or not the whole purpose, right? But it's just going to be, I want to briefly talk about it. We've had one of the greenest weeks as a group as a whole because of IDXG and because of DGLT. I'm not too sure, right? So we had people lock in over 100% profit, some people 200%, and I think we had a trader lock in that I saw 343% profit based on their initial investment. All these traders didn't have enormous accounts. Some had a couple thousand, some had a couple hundred, but the principle is to stay in the green, right? You have this huge cushion that it usually takes people years to achieve that 300% profit. Understand that. And when it comes down to like how to deal with loss or how to deal with red trades, the approach that I take, I'm very conservative when it comes down to trading, and I always manage my risk. So when I took the position on JDST and I said that I was going to take a 1.5 max stop loss, or I was either going to cut my losses right below when it goes right when it goes below $60, which was the overall support. I decided to put my stop loss right when it goes below 60 because I saw that it was kind of like all over the place. That was my decision, and due to that, when it came down to the amount of money that I was going to lose in that specific position, I already treated it as like it was gone, right? Therefore, when it comes down to actually stop lossing out, it doesn't like really affect me because an approach or a feeling, right? When I originally started day trading, it was more like, okay, I'm getting really close to the support. I'm getting really close to the support. I would never set my stop loss, and then when it would break below, I would actually not even with that mental stop loss, I wouldn't even actually cut losses. And that was a very bad habit that I had, which led to a lot of red days because I wasn't properly managing my risk. I always, said, okay, yeah, I'll manage my risk here at like 1% or 2%. But when it came down to it, I would not cut my losses, or I would make an excuse on why I justified the hold. And that's bag holding, but that's not something that we want to do. And when you have a plan and you're managing your risk and then you break those rules, therefore, this growth that our group saw as a whole, this week is not really gonna benefit you guys, because if you guys have a huge cushion, you guys have to understand, you guys have a huge cushion, you guys are doing an amazing job. When you take a position, there should be a small margin that should be at risk, right? Because you're always supposed to manage your risk. Always have that margin and think of that dollar value like it's gone already. Therefore, when if it does take effect, then it doesn't affect you as I don't think as hard as it would that if you don't have that dollar value in mind. Once it takes that hit on your account, you might be like, man, like I really didn't want to lose that. That's really discouraging me. Right before you take that position size of entering that stock, just think of that dollar value already gone. Therefore, before you actually enter that position size, regardless of how the trade ends up paying out, then you already know that that thing's already at risk. And if it ends up going away, then it ends up going away. But it's all part of the game, and it's all part of making sure that you focus on stocks that have much more potential for profit and smaller potential for losses. So that's my approach. I just wanted to briefly talk about it. I hope you guys find it somewhat useful. There's people in the live stream talking about who stole Ricky's hat. No one stole my hat. I know. I couldn't find it this morning. I think it's upstairs in my room. But let me go ahead and get back to finding and looking at a couple stocks. I'm going to go down the list, and I'm using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. It looks like AMD is bouncing back. I am up on AMD right now, and I'm thinking of potentially locking in profits. It hasn't been moving around the way that I wanted to, again, but I'm pretty impatient when it comes down to swing trading. And I've been swing trading a lot because I haven't had time to day trade, since the only times I'm actually looking at the charts are during these live streams, because I've been dealing with so much of like my other businesses on the side, and then managing tech bets as well. So as you guys can see on a 10-day analysis, it actually looks like AMD is bouncing and starting to head back up to this 1324 resistance or 1350. Therefore, the potential for profit is much greater. If you had end up setting a stop loss where it ended up bouncing at, which was like 1227 if I'm not mistaken. But it's up to you on whatever it is that you see value in. Just like always, AMD had that famous pullback. But let's continue going down the list. So AKS had that pullback right in the morning. That one doesn't show a lot of potential, not for me. RAD is back at support, guys. So doesn't mean that it's 100% going to bounce, but just know that it's previously bounced at lows of 22, which it hit again today, and has a resistance at around 230 to 235, if not 240. So therefore, if it goes below 220, then that's where I would stop loss out. So therefore, my risk is at 1%. So this actually might be one that I look into today. M just continues to drop. Not really interested in that. IDXG, if anything, I think I called this one out, that it's most likely going to continue just seeing red days from this point forward, just because it's going to just, again, the hype is going to die. It doesn't mean that there's not margin for profit, but it's just up to you and whatever it is that you see value in. DNR did not play out the way that it's been previously trending, of bouncing at 130, so it broke that trend. So I would have stop lossed out if I would have gone in at 130 at 129. Therefore, my loss would have been very minimal. Specs, not seeing too much potential there. This one's actually SQ. It looks like it's bouncing back. 2450 is usually actually a really good buy point, based on it usually having a resistance at around 25 to 2550, if you guys see that trend. So it's bouncing, as you guys can see right here. Again, if it makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't, then don't do it. Support at 2450, resistance first at 25, and then 2525. Therefore, it almost sounds like 2121. But definitely, I think this one does have potential. Very small margin for risk, with much greater potential for profit, if that makes sense. JDST again dropping like a stone. Support right at 58. I think one of our traders actually called this one out because of its continuous upward trend. So again, it looks like it's trending up. With so it's like a support and resistance, but this is it trending. Like it's an ascending. Shoot. Let me go ahead and scoot back. Let's see if it actually played out that way. Okay, so the traditional support and resistance that we're used to is just two, horizontal lines that actually that are parallel with one another. So support, resistance, you buy low, sell high. This is still support and resistance, but it's doing it while it's increasing in price. Therefore, AMD was something similar to this, that it had this previous trend. So right now, based on this trend, where it's at right now, around the $30 mark, $30 would be the support, and it most likely, based on previous trends, should be ascending. I'm going to wait for the EMA line for it to cross below the candlesticks, showing signs of upward momentum, and wait for that. But this one definitely has potential for profit. It looks like usually every time that it bounces, it has about 8% potential. And if you guys see the trend, one day it increases, the other day it decreases, one day it increases, the other day it decreases, one day it increases, the other day it decreases. Again, does it mean 100% that it's going to increase today? No, but is the potential there? It's up to you to identify that. I think it is. Doesn't mean that you have to either. Of course, we called it out, downward trend. You guys better wait for that drop. If it drops below 40 or 42, that thing's going to most likely sink like a ship. TNXB, nope. Okay, see, I don't like this one. It's less than $1, but it looks like it's trending up, if you guys could see that. But overall, it looks like it's had a previous resistance here at 60 cents anyways. Okay, Kellogg's. EIOS. Okay, continues downward trend. And all these stocks are keeping out. And all right, so there's a series of stocks that if you guys saw, a majority of our stocks earlier this week or last week, they all showed a bunch of potential, and a lot of us did extremely well early this week. And based on what I'm seeing right now, based on what I see, there's a series of stocks that still have some form of potential, but then there's a lot of them that kind of have peaked out and are seeing a downward trend, at least the stocks in my watch list, right? So you can still scan for stocks that are trending, and that's completely fine, especially if you're a momentum trader. And we do have videos on that specific topic, as well as Connor does, who's our momentum trader for TechBot Solutions. But understand that, if nothing is showing to be attractive to you, what you can do is you can set alerts if you want to do that, just so you can stay up to date on how stocks end up performing. And then if one gets in your area that shows potential, then it will alert you, right? Just make sure you have those alert sets. But understand that you don't have to be day trading every day. If you don't see the potential, don't force your trades, especially when you've had consistent green days. Don't get cocky, don't get greedy. Don't think that you are above everyone else, right? Understand that if you force a trade, or you're really just investing in something just to like day trade, then it might not end up playing out the best or the best way. Does that make sense? Overall, I just want you guys to be able to manage your risk and make sure that you guys avoid loss the most as possible. So I'm just going to go over the stocks that I think have potential for today. Overall, for a swing trade, I think AMD still shows signs of. And I'm going to make sure I put it in the description. I know I did a delay or didn't actually post them all in the description, so I apologize for that for yesterday's live stream. But I think AMD has potential due to this bounce that I see here. And this is, again, more of a swing trade with a resistance anywhere around from 13 to 1350, I think is realistic for it to hit within the next couple of days. If it ends up breaking above 1280, I'm just going to put my stop loss there and then lock in those profits. The next one that I see potential in is RAD, due to the support and previous trend that it usually has when it bounces at 23. So again, that's something that I see value in. Doesn't mean that that's something that you have to see value in. The next one is SQ. SQ, the reason I see potential in this one is if we go more on a 10-day analysis, it looks like it's trending back up. Resistance at around 25, overall support at 24.50, which we call that, and it looks like it definitely is trending back up. So that's good there. JDSC, I think, shows potential, but it really needs to start trending back up. I'm going to wait until looking at more of it as a day trade at a 10 to 20-day analysis until it starts to really show signs of upward momentum. Then that's when I'll make the decision to invest in it. So I'm going to kind of take a step back. I was kind of forcing the trade a lot, and thank God I only took small position sizes. But again, it's all part of the game. It's that's why you're supposed to manage your risk. And then DWT being at the support when it's showing the signs of upward momentum. And that is it, guys. All right, I just got a direct message for. Okay, but overall, thank you guys again so much for watching. Let me go ahead and see if there's any questions in the live stream. Looks like people. Okay, so there's a couple people talking about trading the stock like not JDST, DCTH, and IDXG. So again, those stocks are usually less than $1. It's not something that I usually end up focusing too much of my attention to. Yeah, definitely. I definitely see all those DCTH recommendations. I'll just do it because you guys are asking. It's just not something that I trade. I mean, yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was at like 14 cents, and now it's at 24. But it looks like it's now having pullbacks and greater than ever other pullback that it's had within the past couple of days. So it might end up peaking out. I think it had a previous resistance at like 25 to 30 cents before. Again, it's not something that I trade because it's less than $1. But just to keep you guys up to date when it comes down to the condo that I made an offer on. So my offer got accepted. And then now we're going to be moving forward. So if you guys would like me to make a video kind of about that whole process, working with my lender, working with my real estate agent, and how to close like, a rental property, what I'm going to be putting down, if I'm going to be paying all cash, or if I'm going to take out a loan, I'd love to talk to you guys about that to a certain extent, right? To make sure that I'm not just spilling the beans with everything. But I feel like I got a pretty good deal, and this, opportunity would have not been present for me if it weren't for a buddy that actually lived in my community, but is actually I stay connected with him because of him being part of TechBot Solutions. So that's why I want you guys to know that networking is so powerful, especially when some people see value in what it is that you do. I want to thank Barry for everything that is that he does for me and exposing me to this specific opportunity, and for thinking that I'm someone that can actually take advantage of this, and just instead of presenting it to any other investor, he reached out to me right away. And because he knew that that was a market that I invested in, he simply reached out to me. So feel free to connect with one another, not just myself, but with other people. We have business owners here, we have investors, we have people that do a variety of different things. Feel free to ask questions, get to know one another, because you don't know, if you guys are within the area or can benefit one another, or scratch each other's back. There's a lot of things that you guys can do to help one another out. Be safe and still, again, manage your risk, right? So I just want to make sure that you guys don't think that I'm the only avenue for me to be able to assist you, right? But overall, that's going to be it. So if you guys, again, the link is going to be down below if you guys want to be a part of TechBot Solutions. And then for all those that were asking, when you get into the Facebook group, so once you get accepted, this is the top pinned post. So you go right here. The main group chat link for the Discord, which is these series of links that we have available. There's all these topics that we have available that you guys are able to access. The main group chat: swing trading, momentum, OTC, option trading, cryptocurrencies, mobile investments, and it goes down the list, right? Make sure you understand the rules and the group watch list, as that's where we want to funnel all that following. And then if you want to schedule a one-to-one video call, it gives you the link right there, and then just tells you some of the rules that we have and the format that we like posting ticker symbols with. So it's as simple as that, and that's really just it. It's going to be the weekend, guys. It's up to you on what it is that you guys decide on, spending your extra time to, because a lot of people during the weekend don't end up working, right? So during the weekend, it's probably my busiest time because I know a lot of people don't work, and I try to work, twice or three times as hard as anyone else. So I take advantage of that time just so I can continue getting ahead. That's my approach, and it's not going to be anything with closing my property, because the lending agent and all that are going to be closed during the weekend. But it comes down to just growing myself as an entrepreneur, as an investor, and that's really just it. So I'd love to help you guys out any way that I can. Feel free to reach out to me. All the links are down below if you guys want to reach out to me. If you guys want to follow me or anything like that, give me any ideas of stuff that you guys would like me to make, and I would be more than happy to be a part of your success any way that I can. So. Okay, so there's a couple people that are asking, and this is going to be the last thing. So, they're asking because I talked about all the different group chats. We have Connor, who leads the Momentum group chat, who's a future channel within my YouTube channel. We have Brad that leads the OTC stock group, and then we have Kyle that leads the mobile investment group. We are working on someone that's going to lead the cryptocurrency. We are working with someone that's going to be the swing trader for TechBot Solutions. We are working with someone that's going to be an options trader, a Forex trader, and then an Amazon guru as well. So we have all these different people and individuals that excel in those specific markets, but I'm working with them before I actually partner up with them and bring them on to TechBot Solutions, because something that I talk about is it's not about being the best trader in every single market. Obviously, you want them to be successful in that market, as that would be that would only make sense. But I want to make sure that they're people persons, that people find them attractive when it comes down to communicating, and that they're useful and helpful, because that's the whole point. We're here to really assist people by just talking about what we do well and areas of improvement, and we're like team managers, right? That's the whole thing. We're like team builders. So I'm working with these other people, and that's really what I'm focusing all my time to when it comes down to TechBots, aside from the development side. Damn, Ricky's going to have a whole team. That's by Gabriel Torres. But it's something that I see a lot of value in, and I think because of the effect that I've been able to have on the 39,000 people that are part of TechBot Solutions solely with day trading, bringing on Connor with momentum trading and bringing on Brad and the success that they've seen within those specific markets, because we have someone to really assist them and guide them in the right direction. I just want to make sure that I can take advantage of that opportunity in every single market and make sure that we properly expose individuals to every market that offers potential. And that's my approach. And I think a lot of you guys are seeing that, when it came down to like originally starting my account, a lot of people labeled me as like 100% a day trader. And then I started, talking about that I only day trade for 2 hours a day, and the rest of the time I manage my businesses and invest in other markets. I think you guys are really seeing that, I 100% am passionate about day trading. I see the potential. But I also am very passionate about overall group growth. And it's something that I think if I focus a little bit more of my time to, I can really develop a platform that's accessible for everyone, meaning that everyone can be exposed to, what it takes to be a successful day trader, e-commerce, digital marketer, Forex trader, all different markets, right? Just being exposed to all the different markets in the right way and making it accessible for everyone. That's the whole thing, because exposure is everything, right? Knowledge is power, and the only way that you can take advantage of an opportunity is if you know that the opportunity is present. So I think, putting all the BS aside and trying to charge people $1,000 or $5,000 for a specific course, working on a platform to make it the most efficient and effective way to communicate with one another, and providing tools and resources that can allow people to do that. And I think that's going to be really what sets TechBud Solutions aside. And I don't see anyone really taking the time because the money isn't there. Does that make sense? Because we're doing it for free. We don't charge anything. So I want to thank you guys for everything it is that you guys do. Continue working hard. And if you guys like this video, we'd really appreciate the thumbs up. But most importantly, if you can subscribe to our team, who is the future channel, TechBud Solutions wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for all of them. So I want to thank you guys again for everything that you guys do. Continue working hard. Don't force trades. Understand that dealing with loss is all part of the game. Always manage your risk and only trade what you see value in, and not based on someone else's opinion. Thank you guys. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And we'll, man, I messed that one up. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.